All in, he said. I could sense them in the distance. The rattle of the ball, the snap of the cards, a whisper of romance, a laugh. Some were serious, some were excited. But it was an easy call.
Hello Canterbury, Thursday the 13th of November. Well, I hope you've had a great day. Maybe you went out to the AMP show and enjoyed a bit of the culture out there. We could be popping out there tomorrow. It is a very, very special day, Thursday the 13th of November, especially for one gentleman. No, maybe not him, but it could be this gentleman right here. Yes, it's our very own Gordon Finlater, who is 25 today. Do you see the similarity there? Yes, no, he does think Mr. Old Will Ferrell is pretty cool. And we think he's cool too, because if it wasn't for him, you couldn't hear me. Oh, actually, maybe that's not a good thing. But anyway, but here is a little special happy birthday from the man himself to Gordon.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
See, that's it, Gordon. He's reached you from LA to you. So have a very happy day, the big 25-year-old you are. So young, so young. Hey, coming up on today's show, as you remember, we did catch up with Chopper on Monday, and we had a bit of a catch up with Anthony Goff and Chris Lynch, and we have a man panel where we're tackling a couple of issues. So very, very funny, but that'll be later in the show. But we also go out to Oxford School, to the Oxford area school, and find out about this wonderful school, right from the wee ones right through to the seniors. It's a lovely, lovely, lovely area. But first up, Quake Dogs was an absolute success, and thanks to its author and chief, of course, chief photographer, Craig Bullock, and he's joining me now to talk about Quake cats. Of course, you've got to follow it up with the cats, haven't you?
Absolutely. Can't leave the cats out.
So touching on back to Quake Dogs, it was a big success though, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, we didn't expect such an amazing reception, so it was great to see everybody enjoyed it and was really interested in the stories and what happened to animals in Christchurch.
Yes, right, because they are part of our family, aren't they, Craig?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no doubt about it.
So then after that, how long before you started the pipe, you know, the ball rolling as such with Quake Cats?
It happened pretty quickly, so around the time of the release of Quake Dogs last year was when I started researching for this one.
Because it must be quite a lot of work that's got to go into it. You need to make contact, obviously not directly with the cats. I guess they've got their own agents being their owners, but you've still got to, as you said, research and find these wonderful candidates.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, word of mouth is a huge part of that, of course, but contacting local vets and animal-related businesses, you know, pet stores and things like that.
That's really good. We've got some images actually of some of the photos that will be featured in Quake Cats. We'll have a look next. So you just talk through each of these.
So
who have we got here?
This is Crash, and this story is quite an emotional one, and it gets me teary every time. But I photographed this before the earthquake happened, the day before, and he passed away. Oh. And we've got Ginger Boy here who turned up at random. And bore striking resemblances to another cat that had recently passed away, and his owner thought that perhaps there's maybe some reincarnation of the previous cat there.
Oh, okay. My goodness.
So
wow.
Yes, Puku.
It's a fierce-looking creature.
He's a fierce personality too. Amazing. He was left behind in the central city and adopted. Now living in the trees at Snuggle in Canterbury.
Oh, really?
Yeah, absolutely. So he's adopted and living there. And this is Sammy, who's just beautiful.
Looks very spoiled. Sammy does.
Very spoiled, and deservedly so. She was very stressed.
And who's there? Seriously,
Yes.
where does he live in the city?
Where does he live? He's from Orana Wildlife Park, and
Well, I hope so, actually, just quietly, Craig.
They actually got quite stressed too, like the small cats, and the staff there were providing extra stimulation for them to keep them busy and take their mind off of things. But he was actually pacing around his enclosure because he was stressed and wore his pads out and got sore feet.
No way. So,
Yeah.
oh.
There is a real cat in there.
Is he?
Yep, there is. That's Zebu, and he is a hairless cat, as you can see.
Yeah.
But the stress levels and hormonal changes after the earthquakes actually caused him to grow fur.
Really?
Yeah, yeah. So he was sprouting tufts of fur all over the place. And this is TC,
Right.
who managed to wedge himself underneath the oven and get stuck there for a day before his owners could find him, which is no
Wow.
mean feat when you're a 10-kilo Maine Coon.
Oh my God.
So
Jeepers.
yeah, so he's pretty big.
Oh, look at
That's
that.
one of the wee cubs from Orana Park.
Gorgeous.
So they're
It's
the
like you
first.
see in Madagascar or something like that in the cartoons.
Beautiful cheetahs. And that's one of the cubs from the first litter that they've had successfully since the.
Well, funny
since
that we
the
end on that
earthquake.
shot, because if Dave, very clever on camera too, can maybe pick up your shoes, no cats were harmed
No
in the making of
worry
these
there.
shoes.
They weren't.
It's purely all about look, isn't it?
It's all about the look, absolutely.
They are quite fab though, just quietly, they are quite fabulous. Okay, so with the book, where can we actually purchase Quake cats from?
You can get Quake cats everywhere that books are sold. There you can buy them online, on my website photography.co.nz as well.
Oh, easy.
So yeah, anywhere
But
and
good time
everywhere.
to come out though, isn't it, Craig? With
Well,
Christmas coming up?
it's a good stocking filler.
It is, isn't
Yeah,
it?
absolutely. It's only $39.99.
Oh, look at
RRP,
that.
So there you go.
No Ginzu knives though, I'm afraid, just
Yeah.
$39.99.
Yeah.
Now, tell me, dogs, cats, so who? Rodents? where do we go?
No, I think the Quake books are done now, I think.
Yeah?
I'm happy with cats and dogs. Yeah. I don't think we need to go down the chain of life.
No,
and ending
no.
goldfish
No,
or
it
something.
could be never ending, really,
Yeah,
could it?
it could be.
Well, touching on that, I mean, you do fur photography, you call fur photography,
Yeah.
but animal photography. What's some of the peculiar animals that you've shot?
I've photographed all sorts. So goldfish I've photographed for
Goldfish?
somebody. Pet lizards and pet snakes I've done in the past as well.
Really?
So there's a few more unusual ones, that's for sure. I did a shot of a chameleon that was somebody's pet. This was in the UK. You can't keep them as pets in New Zealand, and it was shedding its skin, so it had all the bits of skin peeling off of its face. And
Oh my goodness.
I got a cool shot of it mid-yawn, and the mouth is huge on them. So yeah, I've done all sorts of unusual creatures, but cats and dogs are the main ones.
And I guess it's tricky. I mean, any photographer, I mean, it's such an amazing, amazing craft. You can negotiate with a person as far as bringing out the best of them. What do you do with animals, though?
You just have to watch and look at their body language. There are lots of tricks I've picked up over the years of different noises, or some animals are more visual, so you just, you have a toy and wave a toy in front of them, or yeah. But I have a whole bag of tricks that I take to my pet shoots with me.
Jeepers. And do you have to have an assistant with you, though, to do that while you're trying to get this shot?
Occasionally. If it's a shoot for a private client, then mostly I rope the owners into being my assistant during the shoots, because that's fun for them to involve them in the process of making their photographs.
Right. Amazing. Well, Quake Cats is exactly what the book is all about, and very fortunate, thanks, Craig. We have some copies to give away, so all you need to do is call through to Marianne on 03 3777 033, or failing that, just go out and buy a book, why don't you? And a wonderful gift for Christmas. Thanks, Craig. All the best for your next project.
Thank you.
Your next animal. And after the break, we have the Man Panel. Choppers here, Chris Lynch and Anthony Goff.
Arts 21 showcases the vast creative talent and minds that are making a name for themselves in Europe and beyond. Think outside outside the square with Arts 21.
Undergone home renovations? Looking for that special something to complete a room? Look no further than the Hitching Post. Their extensive range ensures you can find that special something. From plasma cut metalwork, to candles, artwork, weather vanes, or even a customised gate. So come on down to the Hitching Post, 722 Marshland Road.
Come on down to Ferrymead Golf. Care for a game of paintball? How about some swings on the old driving range? Or on our par 3 9-hole golf course? Test your skills on the mini golf course or have a go at the airgun shooting range. Then relax at the Wow Cafe with one of our super succulent Wow Burgers. Whether you want to perfect your swing or are looking for a fun family day out, come down to Ferrymead Golf, 50 Ferrymead Park Drive, right next to the Ferrymead Heritage Park.
Is a new series brought to you by CTV and Rebuild Christchurch. Each week we look at how things are progressing post-quake and get the answers you want on residential rebuild and insurance matters. Covered, CTV 8:30 Wednesdays.
It's raining men. Hallelujah, it's raining men.
Okay, now it's time for the man panel. And the first question we have for the panel is, have we gone to PC? We see how Chris Lynch, Anthony Goff and Chopper handle this topic. Yep, you don't have to adjust your sets. We definitely do have Chris Lynch with us today. G'day, Chris.
Hello.
How are you?
Very well, thanks. Great to be here.
Excellent. And look at the blue man, Mr. Anthony Goff, of course, all-round nice guy.
Hello
slash
there.
property developer. And good old Chopper.
Hello.
How are you?
Yeah, really good.
Thanks for joining us over the ditch.
Yeah, thanks for letting me, gently lower the IQ of this couch.
I wouldn't speak too lowly of yourself, to be perfectly honest. Hey, a bit of a man panel today, and the first topic we have, which I think everyone can maybe, conform or think about it for a little bit. Have we gone to PC, and what I mean politically correct? What's your views, Chopper?
Well, first of all, you've got to understand there's a big difference between being politically correct and just being correct. You know what I mean? People say something that's wrong, it's clearly wrong, and you go, no, that's wrong. And they go, oh, you're just being politically correct. And you're like, no, I'm just being correct, just standard correct. But, a lot of people have a cry about everything these days, You can't talk about anything without offending someone. You know what I mean? Like, I'll write a joke about that. All right, someone will get offended. I'll write a joke about that. You're not writing a joke about someone who wears a paper hat. And then so the Paper Hat Society of blah, blah gets together and writes you a letter. You're like, oh, come on, just... You wear paper hats.
I hate that Paper Hat Society. They moan all the time.
But there seems to be a group for everybody, isn't there? There's a group, if you want to complain about something, you can join a group. You can save this, you can hate that, you can eat that, or you can hate that on Facebook. You know what I mean?
And they've all got a week now, too. It's Paper Hat Remembrance Week or something like that.
That's right.
Awareness for Paper Hat Remembrance.
That's right. You can...
How about you, Anthony? What's your feelings on being PC?
Well, I actually just ignore it all. I don't worry about it. People want to get upset about what I say, well, good on them. Go and get upset. It's not going to worry me.
Yeah,
no, I think people get too precious. And, hey, if anything, I'm out there to sort of tell them differently and challenge things. Like the day I rolled the coffin into council and told them they're killing my city and death of the city and all that sort of thing. You've got to say it as you see it.
Yeah.
So stop being worried about what other people think, I always think.
And people forget as well, if you don't like something, you can just not engage with it. You know?
She's a bit mature.
if I'm
Chopper,
a-
geez.
That's really mature.
Chopper, what's
Eh?
happened to you?
Well,
Don't engage.
I'm
Sure, I
growing
think
up,
so.
you know what I mean? People are like, oh, I don't like this, and then they sit there for the last half hour whinging about it, so I just turn it off. People are like, what do you think of Justin Bieber? I don't like it, I turn him off. It's fine, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, no, but what do you think of him? I don't know, I've never got that far.
Have you ever thought of turning him on?
No, I've never.
But
Well,
you're right though, people like to complain. I mean, on my show at ZB, I refuse to even look at some of the text messages now because it's the same person that just constantly says how much he hates me. Yet day in and day out, he's listening. So they actually get off it. The same thing that program with Lynch, you know, the opening titles of the show I do, and it's got a little wee cartoon image of a guy that's being hung. It's a play on my last name, which is Lynch. Well, the young Labour youth guy refused to come on the show saying that he felt it was too racist. A cartoon image that was taking the piss out of my last name.
Seriously?
Yeah, so I mean, you want to talk PC, that's probably the worst case of it. People like to be offended though. People like
they
to
love it.
they love to get the moral high
Victim.
ground. It gives them the feeling of I'm better than you, that's why I can say no or be offended. So, you know, and in a way I suppose talkback makes a career out of it, doesn't it?
And being offended is the most ridiculously selfish emotion that you can have as well.
Yeah,
You know
yeah,
what I mean? Like if you're outraged by something, like, well, you know, I'm offended by poverty. All right, there's a place that can go. If you're offended by swearing, what do you do? You know,
think of
like-
two words actually there, Chopper.
Well, exactly. But don't say that to me. But it's ridiculous. It's like I've decided that my opinions and my values are more superior to everyone else here, so I'm calling off the party and everyone has to go home. So if you don't like it, just leave. You know, if you don't like the F word, I'm going to be saying it, so don't come to the bloody show.
Yeah, that's
Don't
so
sit
true.
there at the front and go, well, I never got you.
How about you, Anthony? You must get a bit of PC ones going
What happens
because
in
you're
your
Mr.
shows?
Fashion. Yeah, what happens with your show down the terrace?
Well, as I said, I actually just get on with it and don't worry about what everyone says, and that does get me into trouble. And so what? I think it's, you've got to believe in what you're doing and get on with it.
Yeah.
And yes, I think you get a lot of people who actually do say, "Oh, you should be going down this road. You should say all the right things." Oh, stuff it. Let's
Yeah,
get out and have
exactly.
fun. Let's tell it as you see it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, people are just sort of charading here, there, and everywhere, and nobody
Yeah.
really knows what you're standing for.
Good answer. That's it. I think the basic advice is just go with it and just don't worry about anyone else says. So stay with us. After the break, we had another one. Can you say a little white lie? Is it all right to? Stay with us.
When you need to know what's happening in your region, join me, Chris Lynch, for Canterbury's biggest conversation, first at 5, CTV News, weeknights, right here on CTV.
The world really is your oyster with Farm to Farm tours. Discover some of the world's best farming, scenery and cultural experiences. We work closely with trusted international colleagues in more than 30 countries to customise great trips for people just like you. For a hassle-free trip, call the friendly team at Farm to Farm Tours now or visit our website.
When we were kids, saving the world seemed like the easiest thing you could do. But the world has changed, and the problems are bigger than we'd ever imagined. People are starving, the environment is under pressure, the climate is changing fast, and we are running out of fresh water. There's so much distraction, it can get hard to see where you can make a difference. With so many other things going on, where do you start? Well, feeding the world gets a little easier when you start by planting the right seed. Protecting the future is possible when you know how and have help. And if we work together to tackle the big challenges, everyone can live well. At Lincoln, we're on a mission to feed the world, protect the future, and help everyone live well. So don't settle for just any future. Join us and make a difference.
Whatever the adventure, Abbey Road is Kaikoura's streetwear specialist. With a wide range of clothing for any weather and any condition, including possum merino, Abbey Road has you covered. Abbey Road Kaikoura.
Join Graham Sinclair and the team at Gone Fishing as they bring you great stories, fishing tips and beautiful scenery. Gone Fishing, Friday night at 8:30, right here on CTV.
But Annie Lennox. Well, the next question on the panel is there ever a right time to use a little white lie? Well, has your partner ever said to you, oh, does my bum look big in this? And you said, oh, no, dear, no, it doesn't. Little white lie. Is there any time when we are allowed to actually do exactly that? What do you think, Chris?
Yeah, I think it's okay to lie if it's well intended. You ask any politician. You ask half the councillors or the mayor. Of course it's fine to lie. It depends. I suppose it's a moral dilemma how far you take that lie. For me personally, I've got through life being utterly honest, and it hasn't exactly worked out. You know, I probably could have been further ahead by now if I actually didn't or tried to lie as much. But I think, you know.
Is that true though? It's actually what Chris has said is quite true. Is sometimes we edit ourselves before we actually speak. Do you find people do that?
Yes, I think they do. No doubt about that. But you're right. You know, if your partner says, you know, what do you think of my backside? Well, you're not going to say, jeepers creepers, girl, you should lose a pound or two. You know, don't be stupid. You might think it, but by the way, my partner has got an awesome backside.
Nice,
She's very thin, so you can't say that again. What a nice example.
Yes.
You don't,
My friend's bottom. Yeah.
you don't want to open the floodgates either. Then we're like, all right, I'm going to be a little bit honest about you. All of a sudden, they're honest back, and you're like, hang on, wait, this is too much truth for me.
Yeah, it was supposed to go one way.
I didn't need to know that my nose does that. I don't need to know about my snoring.
Do you find you have to do it, Chopper?
Oh, see, I find that a little white
Because you have a lot of
lie-
egos around you, don't you? I mean, you're in the industry where there's a lot of egos.
I find just a giant malicious lie is a lot more fun. You know what I mean? Where have you been? Mars. You know, why tell the truth? It's boring.
Yeah, well, that's true. How about you, Chris? I mean, like, in personal, that's business, you know, you've got to keep up a persona. Are you honest with your friends?
That's a good question. That's a very good... No, I'm not actually. It's a very good question,
So
actually.
you're a nice guy.
Isn't that weird that in my job, I have no filter at all, and it gets me into trouble, you know, with what I do. But actually with friends, I think I have more of a guard with them.
So you don't regard your audience as friends?
Oh, don't take me
Jeez.
All my audience
Cue
are
the
friends.
little white lie.
Oh, that was nice.
No.
No, but I just feel like I'm very open and honest. Isn't that funny? I feel like I'm more open and honest in my jobs than I am with my friends. Mind you, by the time I get home, I don't want to talk to anybody though, you know, because, you know, you've had a day of talking. So when I get home, I don't want to talk to people.
And I guess, Anthony, it's been diplomatic as well. I mean, you especially find that in business as well. I mean, you've all got to get along.
Yes, you're absolutely right, and sometimes it, you know, getting along gets in the way. But then I also don't mind throwing cannonballs if they need to be thrown.
Or a coffin.
Or a coffin. I didn't throw it. I just
Didn't you?
wheeled it into the council with my box of tissues and top hat on and said, "Welcome to the death of our city. Some of you may be overcome with emotion. Please raise your hand and I'll bring the tissues over."
Nothing much has changed, really, has it, to be fair?
But in all honesty, I think you've got to say it as you see it. And if the consequences mean you get crossed off somebody's Christmas card list, well, so what?
Oh. So what's your philosophy on the whole little white lie then in general?
Well, let's face it, truth is a construct, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
There's no such thing as the actual truth. It's just what everyone agrees upon. History's written by winners. Winners are usually scumbags, so it doesn't matter, really. It's all arbitrary.
That's so true. There's truth in that, you know.
Someone's run this down there. Okay. Hey, we'll go around. It's been a lot of fun. Chris, what's your one word of advice for our men out there? There you go.
When it comes to lying,
Yeah.
always do it.
Brutally honest. Anthony.
There's a time and a place to have little white lies. There's other times to tell it brutally as you see it.
Yeah.
Be
I like
careful
it.
which one you pick on the
You
day.
like brutal, don't you, Chopper?
Yeah. I mean, I have to say my bit of advice is people can tell you're lying when they look you in the eye, so just wear sunglasses absolutely everywhere.
It was a great joy having them all on the couch. Have a wonderful night and we will see you tomorrow.
No my, Heidi my. Welcome to Oxford Area School.
Welcome to a quality education in a rural setting. Modern learning practices lie at the heart of our approaches. This is enhanced by our strong values of being respectful, positive, caring and responsible. Oxford Area School is switched on too with the latest high-speed fibre network and Wi-Fi capabilities. Bringing your own device is encouraged and highlights a progressive approach to modern learning. This is further enhanced with an ongoing building program which will give us 8 new and modern classrooms in 2015.
Hello, my name is Bob Norris. I'm the principal and I'm very proud to be the principal of Oxford Area School. We're a different school to most schools in New Zealand in that we have students from the age of 5 right through to the age of 18. Because of that, we are very family focused. We have very strong connections with our community, and we're able to track our students right from the time that they start school through to the end. We get to know our students very, very well.
Education as a second language enjoys a special place at Oxford Area School. Programs are developed by specially trained teachers who plan and arrange for the individual.
I'm Tina Wiley, I'm the International Director at Oxford Area School. I've probably worked here with international students for almost 20 years. The program here focuses on student welfare, bringing other cultures into our school. I think it's something we do really well.
Included in this are the homestays and any special needs any overseas student might require. We offer special courses in a variety of learning areas such as agriculture and trades with gateway potential. There's OPL, outdoor leadership, as well as opportunities through music and performing arts, visual arts, technology and digital technologies, the social sciences, English, mathematics and languages.
We are also able to plan courses and meet the needs of individuals as they go through their primary and secondary education.
There is special attention given to providing programs that allow students to maximise their potential, and beyond that, we plan for special needs and the gifted and talented at Oxford Area School.
We are able to plan and deliver seamless quality programs which respond to an individual's needs.
The size of our school allows us to know each other and this adds to the family-centred atmosphere.
Being an area school, we cater for students from the ages of 5 through to 18.
Because this is an area school, some other advantages and opportunities come along, such as CasaFest. This is where the 6 area schools from Canterbury come together to share, compete and celebrate over 3 days.
We have a very clear vision for learners at Oxford Area School. We want all our learners to enjoy their learning, to become lifelong learners and know how they learn. We want them always to strive for excellence.
Opportunities extend well beyond the classroom for our students through leadership. We encourage all to participate in extracurricular activities. Many achieve success at the highest levels.
At Oxford Area School, because we have such a small student body, there are a wide range of leadership opportunities available, such as Students Against Dangerous Driving, World Vision, Spirit of Adventure, Outward Bound, Deputy and Head roles and Board of Trustees.
Oxford Area School is located close to the great outdoor potential provided by the rivers and mountains of the Southern Alps.
It allows kids' imaginations to be able to be sparked by coming out at night and seeing the stars. When we get our foreign students, they just jaw drops because of the clarity of the night sky out here, and the pictures that they see through the telescope is just amazing.
Christchurch is only 40 minutes away, and with it are facilities offered by a new rejuvenating city. Also part of that developing scene are the tertiary institutions such as Canterbury University, Lincoln University, CPIT and many more. Oxford Area School wants to help all of our students to develop a pathway towards being successful citizens. If that's your vision, come and share your journey with us.
Thank you for listening and watching. Now I would like to see you. Come and see the things we do in more detail at Oxford Area School. Kia ora!
All in, he said. I could sense them in the distance. The rattle of the ball, the snap of the cards, a whisper of romance, a laugh. Some were serious, some were excited. But it was an easy call.